Hi, I'm Lauri from Creative Soul Tower Solutions, and I'm here today on Let's Go with Lisa and Lauri with my fabulous co-host, Lisa Cortez. Lisa, thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Lauri. How are you doing? What have you been up to? It's been a while since we've done a show.
I know I've been up to Amazon, 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 and more Amazon. Amazon has been, I was expecting it to kind of go away after Christmas, but it hasn't. So I'm amazed that I'm still selling, but I am. And now I got to work on sourcing more products. So, you know how it is.
I do. I'm completely there with you. I celebrated this year my first full year on Amazon. And like you said, every single day you learn something new. You learn a new strategy. You learn how to organize and get better for the next time. So that's what I've been up to as well. Amazon, 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 which is really good because guess what we're going to do?
What?
We're going to have a workshop, 2 workshops as a matter of fact. One there in Minneapolis with you or St. Paul, and one here in Seattle with me, which I'm super excited about. So being aware of what I'm doing so that we can help other people learn about how to sell on Amazon has also been a really different change in what I'm doing. So it's really neat, and it's been super fun.
So, well, that's great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to these events. So give us a little, just a little synopsis of what happened for you during the holidays on Amazon.
Well, one of the strategies I created early on was, of course, to shop in quarters. So I was fairly prepared having my items in. I think we did one last minute shipment, which I hate being stressed out, but we started to sell items really, really fast early on. So of course, then for next year, and I knew this from my mentor, Karen Smith, fantastic woman who taught me how to do this. She had indicated that it really gets busy like from September on. So of course, when you're first starting, you have to do what you can afford to do. And so I did what I thought I could afford to do. And so now I got sort of stuck at the last minute having to ship some things in. So always a learning process, but it was really fun. So after that, I was able to then watch things and see which items were selling and which items weren't selling so well, and then going in and really updating wording and making sure that my products were sort of being refreshed so that people could locate them when they were going in to search for things on Amazon.
Wow, that sounds exciting. Yeah, I was not prepared at all. I was not prepared any shape, way or shape or form. I should have listened to you. I just didn't believe that it could happen and be as busy and sell as quickly as it did. Things that I was expecting when I sold them that they would last for a month lasted 3 days or 2 days. So as soon as this stuff got there, it immediately blew out of the store. So I know that I could have probably made 3 times what I made if I would have been better prepared. But you know what? That's what next year is for.
Exactly, and that's all about those strategies. So one of the things that we had talked about, and I'm not sure if we're ready to go into this or not yet, but who really might be interested in selling on Amazon? Because we get a lot of questions, how are you doing? What are you doing? How do I know if Amazon is right for me? And as you get started, or if you're even thinking about it, one of the things I want to share with people is that there's always learning. I don't care if you're a multi-million-dollar seller on Amazon, every single year you learn something new and different. And so how you determine if it's right for you, we'll go through that in a minute. But this is really right for a lot of people who are interested in earning more income, who are interested in leaving 9 to 5 potentially, or who are interested in finding additional way to grow and develop wealth, or if you have a product that you've already created and you want to reach millions of people, then Amazon is a really good choice for you. And so the fun part about it is you have to start somewhere, and starting the somewhere looks like, oh my gosh, I didn't have enough things in stock. Because when you start with what you can afford, and you start learning the process of Amazon. So I just think it's the most fascinating. Like I said, every single day I learn something new about Amazon, and it fascinates me.
Yeah, it is fascinating. So before we get into that, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you started to sell on Amazon?
Absolutely. Well, for some of those reasons, I definitely wanted to build a wealth cycle for myself that was additional from working 9 to 5, because there's only a certain amount of money that I can or make while I'm working 9 to 5. But secondly, my husband retired and I want to retire with him. I don't want to work another 15, 20 years to wait to retire with him. I want to do the fun things with him that we want to do now: golf more, travel more, have more impact in people's lives by teaching them different things. Woo, we had a little meltdown over here, sorry. um, so just finding new strategies to earn more money, build my wealth, and do more of the things I want to do at not working 9 to 5. So I'm really excited because this year I will have achieved that. In just a few months, I will be able to leave 9 to 5 so I can do Amazon full time. So that's one of the reasons I started to do this.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. And just from your personal experience, what issues have you had selling on Amazon?
Well, I've had a few, listing things there. When you don't know how to navigate within the systems, you get warnings, product selection. I remember at one point I shipped into Amazon a product that had lithium batteries, and that I didn't really understand that I couldn't do that. So I had to get that product back or not ship it in. So there's a lot of little things that take time to learn. And so those were some of the problems. I didn't really understand how to select categories or some of the things that I could not send into Amazon.
It's very complicated. That is very true. And, just selecting the categories alone could be a full 3 days.
Absolutely. So, and that's another thing. It took me, a long time to decide what the name of my company would be, and then selecting the categories. I think it's a lot of people have questions. I know you've encountered this and I've encountered this. Well, I'd like to learn how to sell and make money on Amazon, but how is it that I decide what to sell on Amazon? I love many things. I love golf. I love wine. I love clothes. I love purses. So out of all of those things, how do you decide? So what I've found to be very beneficial is to set a system. There are metrics, analytical things that you can do, a process that I've created that will show you how to determine how to select the things that interest you and determine whether they are a good product to sell or not. And then after that, you follow up by buying small quantities of the products that you analyze and determine that are a good selection, and you start to sell them. What I thought I was going to be really good at selling is not what I ended up selling on Amazon. So that was absolutely fascinating to me.
Absolutely. That was one of the things that I was surprised about. And the thing is, the things that are good on Amazon that you're selling are so good that it's okay that you can make a few mistakes, because those products just keep selling and selling and selling. And I know with my stuff, the problem for me hasn't been selling. It's been having enough to sell. So, it's a good product. It's a good problem to have. There seems to be more demand than there is actual products available. So in the categories that I'm selling in, what I'm selling. So, it's very interesting. But I know that there are formulas, because I know when I use some of them, that are really good formulas to work from. There are formulas about size and formulas about weight, and they help you to make more from what you're selling on Amazon. So I know that the formulas are very important, and learning those formulas. And yes, you can learn them. What I noticed is you can learn them by, watching YouTube videos and doing this and doing that. But some of that stuff is not current. That's another thing that I noticed when I started watching the YouTube videos. They're not current. And Amazon changes quite frequently. So I was actually using some of the formulas from 2012 and 2013. So I ended up having some issues, and now I'm very careful about making sure All of my information is like right on target right now. And the other thing is working with you has also kept me in the loop. So it's also important to have kind of that support system. So, so just a question about, I know why you did it. I know why I did it. And I did it primarily, as you suggested, so I could help my clients to increase their income so then they would have more money to spend in their businesses. So it was a sideline revenue stream. And the interesting thing is we both studied with Jack Canfield, and Jack talks about multiple streams of income and how important multiple streams of income are. So I see this as just another source of income that's going to be going to help me fuel my business. If I had another, you know, $5,000, $10,000 a month, I could, put some of that back into the business after the vacation, but put some of that back into the business, and that would help the business grow a lot more quickly. So that was one of my big reasons. So, who do you think can learn to sell on Amazon?
Well, it really is a matter of anyone. Young people who are really familiar with computers or going to college or in school, I believe you have to be 18 unless you have someone signing up with you, a parent, in order to have your own account on Amazon. But really, it's buying and selling. So that concept in and of itself is simple. If you're retired and you want extra income so that you can golf at better places or take travels further away than what your retirement income can afford you, instead of hanging out at Walmart, which is a really good place to go as well, selling on Amazon provides you. Once you get started, you will be so surprised at how much cash flow you can gain out of this business. And every 2 weeks, Amazon deposits into your account. So it's simple. You should be able to use a computer, although you don't have to be a computer expert, because really what you're going to become an expert in is learning how to use the Amazon system. And let me tell you, Amazon spends billions of dollars making sure that their system is the most integrated, user-friendly system possible, because they want the user experience and the seller experience to be exceptional. So really, so long as you know how to turn on a computer and you're willing to learn how to navigate the process of being within the Amazon environment, then you can do this. And of course, if you're working full-time, you can definitely do it. I continue to work full-time, although not for much longer, and I've been able to do it. So if you have another business and you're already business oriented or an entrepreneur and you know how these things function, then it goes a lot quicker too. You can do this as a side business if you have a main business doing something else, because then some of the concepts won't be as challenging for you. For me, it had been a long time since I had owned my own business. So even remembering how to establish a business or what accounts I needed to hold or how to set up not just a filing system, but a financial system, those elements took me some time. And they don't have to be complicated. They can be as simple as you need them to be. But anytime you can establish a process in which to do things, that's really important. So some of those elements of really establishing processes is what took me a little bit of time to figure out how to do all of this. But now I'm on board and ready, and my sales grow exponentially. I can't, like you, I can't keep enough product in my store. Whoops, I almost knocked over my coffee. I can't keep enough product in my store. And so I really need to now up my game and start a new system, because as we'll talk about in a little bit, how you keep items in stock, how all of that becomes essential to growing your business. But again, I had to start somewhere. I started, and now I'm leaping off into the next portion, which is really starting to make a significant cash flow in my Amazon business.
You know, Lisa, when I started talking to you about Amazon, you were saying, oh, you're going to be private labeling your stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe in 4 or 5 years. Actually, this year, I'm going to be private labeling. I know it because that's the only way I can really source enough product to fulfill the needs that I have in my store. So I feel, at first when I was thinking of private labeling, I was thinking, oh, that's so complicated. Now I'm like, oh, that's so much simpler than trying to find what I need. I mean, that's huge, Lisa. That's huge.
Absolutely. The sourcing thing is one thing that you don't have to worry about initially. I mean, really initially, it's wrapping your mind around how to sell on Amazon, how to set up your profile, how to add an item onto the system, how to make the best use of words and free things free tools that Amazon gives you to be successful at selling your product. So that's what you initially focus on. Then once you learn that system, then private labeling comes into, because you're right. Once you find the things that you're good at and you're finding them retail, or you might even find them a little bit wholesale, even wholesale places change their products frequently. That's how we all stay fresh. We sort of need to think that in mind. Sometimes we get very attached to things, and in life, really great things come, but then other things move forward and you have to switch products because a product that you loved might run out. So that's where private labeling and really being able to grow your brand. And this is one thing that I love about partnering with you, because before you, I didn't really know a lot about branding until I came up against you. So you were able to help me see how creating a brand could really, in focusing my attention on what I'm interested in and what I'm good at doing, and really blasting that out and able to earn income off of these things that we're branding and selling. I mean, just marvelous. So that's the second step. So first step is learning what you're good at selling, what items work for you, figuring out the system. Second step, how do you grow that? How do you find enough product to sell that you can source continuously? How do you create a brand that's going to benefit you, so you're not selling someone else's brand for them? I mean, you'll always want a little bit. I think the best ratios are having a little bit of retail, having a little bit of private labeling, and then we'll get into some other strategies in the future. But this is a business that you grow. This is a business that has really, for me, allowed me to express myself. I'm so creative, and in my 9 to 5 I haven't had the opportunity to be creative, that this really enables me to be as creative as I want to be, and it's really exciting. And then now, like you mentioned, with the private labeling, and we'll during our workshop get into great detail about that, but will help us just jump off into that next level.
So Lisa, let's talk about the workshop. So give us a rundown. You're the primary trainer here because you have a lot of experience with Amazon. So give us a rundown of what's going to happen at the workshop, and then what are the takeaways that people are going to leave with after those 3 very fun-filled and intensive days.
Well, I want to start off, and I want to ask you by asking, why is it that you wanted a workshop? Because this idea came about when you and I were discussing sort of how challenging it is to communicate what some of these things are. So what is it that you wanted out of a workshop or an experience in learning how to sell on Amazon?
Well, first of all, I come in contact with people on a daily basis that when they hear that I sell on Amazon, they're like, oh, I really would love to do that. I'd love to sell on Amazon. And I'm like, okay, well, why don't you? Well, I don't know what products to sell. I don't know how to do it. I'm unsure. And I'm like, well, it did take a long time for me to learn it, and I'm thinking to myself, but it wouldn't take a long time for someone to learn it if they had like really hands-on help. So I said to myself, why don't we get together and why don't we teach people who have the desire and the need to know about Amazon, who could really enhance their own business through influx of cash? Why don't we teach them? Because you taught me so much. And then I went and I watched lots and lots of YouTubes and did a lot of trial and error because I didn't always want to be bothering you. And so, and then it took me a long time to believe that I could really make money on Amazon and all of those things. ended up costing me time and money. I said to myself, if I got Lisa here and I got the people that keep asking me on a daily basis about Amazon, got them in the room, we could teach them everything we know in 3 days, and they would walk out having boxes packed, ready to go to UPS.
Exactly. I remember still so clearly from the time that I told you about Amazon and this experience, how you were like, oh, okay, that sounds like, in theory, it sounds like a great idea. And then I want to say that the time that I really saw that you had a breakthrough was when we physically went to the store and you took me to that amazing mall that you have. Oh my God, I cannot wait to get back there again. And it was so much fun because through the process, you learn what the criteria is. Then you go out and you shop, and then I was giving you feedback as we were shopping live and in person about whether that thing was a good product or whether it was a bad product. Some of them we even determined might be a good product, yet we brought them home and we photographed them and they weren't coming out, and it was taking us too much time, and it was just too riddled with issues. And you're going to experience all of this, but the real breakthrough was being able to go with you and show you. Then your mind really was able to wrap around what it is that we were trying to do. And even then, even all of that, like you said, you still had to watch hours and hours of videos. We still talk about, I see videos all the time and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't think about that before. So there's so many different ways to do Amazon, but the number one way that I learn things personally is by watching someone else do them. I want to do this workshop because I want to take people by the hand. Again, I think I've told you before, and I for sure tell everybody, I love to shop. So if you don't love to shop, you can do this business. You just definitely need me, whether it's Lauri and I or someone else, to take you by the hand and go show you what products to look for, because there is a big difference between knowing what to get and why to get it and not. And being able to ask questions while you're out doing it is so vitally important. So I think that's the number one reason I want to share this workshop, because I want to tell people, again, when I started, I would hear the concepts and I would get all excited because Karen, the gal that I learned to do it from, it has been in retail all of her life. This girl has got strategies, or woman, excuse me, has strategies that are so powerful. But I was missing the element of hands-on. I needed to see. I worked 9 to 5. I had some other projects going on. A lot of things that sort of just took my mind a little while to get around. So being able to see someone, ask questions live in person, I think that this workshop is going to blow it out of the park, because we're going to take people through an entire cycle of deciding what to sell, going to the store, selecting items to sell, coming back, photographing them, which is a whole other thing to learn, and you can get lost in that, then creating the Amazon detail and explanation and showing how using certain words and really paying attention to the seasons and how people buy, how to do that, and then shipping. So we're going to take them through an entire cycle. And let me tell you, if you want to learn as quickly as possible so that it doesn't take you, for me, I want to say this year, even though I've completed 1 full year on Amazon, this is really the first year that I feel I'm solid on this, that I really get what I'm doing and how I can grow this for the future. So,
but imagine how great it would be for you, roll back, if you had a group of people that every single, week or 2 weeks, you would be talking to those people, that you had a designated Facebook group that you could ask questions to, that, your mentor was monitoring. And then the other thing is to have those mastermind calls. That's going to blow it right out of the water. Yeah. So it's really about not only the 3 days where I can see that people are going to learn so much. They're going to get it, like what took me months to get, because of me standing in my own way, me not believing, me not getting the possibilities and the opportunity to make money. I For some reason, I thought it was harder than it actually is. I think everybody is guilty of that. When I talk to these people, I'm like, yeah, as soon as you learn the system, it's simple. They're like, oh, yeah, well, you know, it's not, blah, 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 blah. They were doing the same thing that I was doing. And I want to take and blow the doors off of that. I want people to be in that room going, I get it. I see it. Yes, I understand exactly how to sell. The other thing, Lisa, that I think it's important to bring out is there are different ways to sell on Amazon. We sell on Amazon one way, but Holly sells on Amazon a completely different way. She's going to be at our event in St. Paul, and she's going to be talking about the way she sells on Amazon, and she makes excellent money selling on Amazon. And she does it a completely different way. So there's different ways to go about selling on Amazon. And if you use those ways, together, you could really do well. Like I sell the same product Holly sells, but I sell that product in a different way. We're both driving the sales to Amazon. We're both driving business in different ways, but we're driving the product forward through doing it both ways. So I know it's very complicated, but when you have somebody that shows it to you in black and white, it becomes a lot more simple. The other thing is, you know, you were talking about shopping, and I interviewed Andrew Chernlin, who makes $10 million a year on Amazon, and he doesn't like to shop. He likes to make money. Okay? So you don't have, and I don't like to shop. So you don't have to, you know, when people talk about, I know you love shopping. I want a sharp stick in my eye when I'm shopping, but it's like, I like the concept of the sales, how you buy something, you put it up, you do this, and you resell it, and you get, you know, 15 times what you paid for.
I have to tell you, I couldn't agree with you more. One, there are so many ways and to sell. Let me go back to the Holly thing. So she makes a product and she sells it directly to Amazon, and that is amazing. I don't know that system, so I'm looking forward to learning more from her about that system. And then when you create a community, you can start to partner, because I want to create my own, I'm not there at that yet because I'm creating other products, but definitely, so then I could partner with Holly potentially to make my product. So it's really neat, because as you grow and as you see, everyone is going to take this Amazon business in its own direction, in your own direction. You may learn the system from me, but you're going to learn things that I don't even know about yet, because your curious mind takes it in a completely different direction. This business is completely customizable. And so being able to partner with people is really exciting to see what they're doing. I love food, and that's the area that I thought I was going to excel in, either cooking items or food products, because I'm a foodie. I love to cook. I slightly had my own cooking show for a while and thought that that was going to be an avenue I was going to go in. So to me, that made perfect sense. Yet when I tried to do it, it was way too complicated. And one of the reasons it was complicated for me is because I have a full-time job. I was taking some classes. I really had a full life, and I could not focus on that. So I had to find something that was simple, easy to ship, low cost, low time, and I found my product. But now as I start to go to do this full time, then I'll be able to expand what it is that I do. Another thing that came about this, so I want to touch on the money aspect. The money part I have a financial advisor. And the financial advisor had been trying to get some concepts into my mind, return on investment for one, for a really long time. And again, one of those things that you understand the theory and you're like, well, how does that apply in my practical everyday life? Let me tell you, Amazon takes care of that for you. Because when you go buy things for yourself, you start to see them in a whole different light. It's like, could I sell this on Amazon? Could I private label this for myself? Could I brand this for myself? How much money would I make on this? Am I really willing to spend that much money on something, knowing that if I waited because I don't need it, or if I buy it, wait until it goes on clearance, I can buy it and then I can sell it and make this much on Amazon for it. I mean, it's really exciting. It really just completely expands how you think about making money. I reignited that love of the flow of money, having a different relationship with money, saying, yeah, okay, it comes and it goes. How can we utilize it to the best of its advantage? And there are strategies even for that. So I love Amazon for that. And
You know,
then
Lisa, you mentioning this, and I just have to jump in because there's differences. There's the amateur shopper and the professional shopper. And because of my business on Amazon, I've gone from being like a amateur shopper, now I'm a professional shopper. I'm doing exactly what you say. Am I going to really pay full price for that? Am I going to pay this? Why don't I wait? Why don't I look at this? Why don't I? So it's really about taking shopping to a whole new place, a whole new place. So I've noticed that I myself do that. You know, I want to roll back to talking a little bit about Holly and the way that she sells on Amazon. We physically sell the peanut brittle at events, and we sell the peanut brittle on Amazon. We have on our brittle label that we sell on Amazon. So we're out at fairs and festivals and art shows, and the minute people see that we sell on Amazon, you can see the difference in their face. Right away, our credibility goes way up for them. They immediately think we are not a fly-by-night, we're not just anybody, we are sanctioned by Amazon. So that's one thing. The other thing that's really interesting is whether they buy there or not, we see our Amazon sales after we do an event shoot up. So our Amazon business is being driven by our physical business, which is being driven by our Amazon business. So it's a big circle that's going on. Now we have at any given event, sometimes we're with 600 different vendors. Some, you know, that's a pretty large event, but most of those vendors are not selling on Amazon. Very few of those vendors. Every once in a while, we see a vendor who's selling on Amazon and they're experiencing the same thing. But all these people that are out there, they're not aware of the power that Amazon could give their physical business. Plus the other thing of selling. I get notes in the mail. I get emails. Oh, I need more product. I don't know where to find it. Some people don't know. They still don't even know about Amazon. But imagine, oh, buy it on Amazon, and then right away they can get that product at any time. So Amazon, having that Amazon name and putting your brand with that Amazon name on it, it makes a huge difference in people's perception.
Well, Lauri, you just hit it right on there. And as a branding expert, you know exactly how, I mean, people can hardly pay to get this type of attention to their product. So last year, you helped me launch my Golf Diva and Bienvenidos al Juego, focused on helping people change in the Latin market. Very exciting. So it was an idea, and I was going, and I wasn't quite sure what direction I was going on. Well, now I've created a product that's my own design that I'm in the process of getting patented under my brand. And then I'm going to be able to source these things and use the power. Yes, I'm going to have to do my own things like you're doing, going to fairs and getting retail brick and mortar stores interested in it because I really want this item everywhere. But nothing gives me the power of Amazon. I can test my items on Amazon. I can ask for feedback and questions. And there's really so many ways to make your brand and get it out there in a way that has never been available before, because again, Amazon is a machine that's going and going and going. It is not going to shut down anytime soon. We talked about this, a little bit of the statistics about that. This year, they took over half of the market, the online sales market. That means Amazon gets half of everything that Best Buy, Target, Walmart, all of those companies, they're combined aren't up against the 0.5% that, or 0.5% percentages that Amazon gets. So their potential is just incredible to grow your brand. Now, we might be freaking some people out about, oh my goodness, how do I figure all of this out? When I first started with an idea, I had this roller bag that I really liked that I used for work. And everyone would say, where did you get that? Where did you get that? Well, I found it at a discount store. I love it. It's perfect for the bus. It doesn't bump into the sides. And so I even thought to myself, well, I would really like to make my own brand of this. I had no idea how to do that. I had no idea where to even start. I tried sourcing it. I tried looking up wholesale things, and I just didn't. When I found out that I'd probably have to go overseas in order to do something like that, then that was just way too much for me. I thought, that's more than I can learn in this lifetime. I don't know. And yet a year later, here I am, not only brand that source, but I'm patenting my own thing, and I'm contacting, I know how to contact vendors. I know how to look for items online and really ask the right type of questions in all sorts of areas. So you have the capacity to learn this. And then you get together with experts. Sometimes, yes, you have to hire experts. I hired you to help me brand because I didn't know how to do that. And it would have taken me way too long. I would have never even gotten started had I taken the time to do it on my own. So I'm so happy for that opportunity, and I'm glad to be providing. I'm looking forward to sharing what you and I have learned and our learning styles and our experiences to really grab people by the hand and show them this is a cash flow business. You can make big money on this. And you have to be careful because you can get completely obsessed by it. As I know you are. I am completely obsessed. Some of the other items or things that I was working on last year are even taking a back seat because this is financially the fastest way to get to where I want to go.
Yep. You know, the interesting thing is, Lisa, when we talk about private labeling and we're talking about, you know, going out and creating our own product and getting patents and everything, none of that is important, really. None of that is important. The important thing is actually taking the first step and learning how to get on board with Amazon. And then it's so interesting how your Amazon experience kind of points you in the direction that you should be going. Like when Holly started on Amazon, she's just like, okay, well, I'm going to just sell my peanut brittle. She was here the other day. She's like, you know what? I figured out my new line of products that I'm going to private label, and I'm going to have those. So she just started out with, I just want a place that I can send my brittle. And now it's totally changed in the way that her growth of her business is moving. You just have to get on board. That's the only thing that's important is, you know, don't worry about private labeling a year from now. I mean, when you mentioned private labeling to me, I almost laughed in your face. I mean, I was like, private labeling, oh, she's got to be kidding. Now I'm like, okay, you know what? I can see it happening. I can see what I want to do. I can see, and I hear myself talking about it in such a way that it's very concrete. The most important thing that I think people who are viewing this particular video need to do is, if there's any interest at all, get on board. Learn the basics. Learn how to navigate the Amazon system. You can attend our event, either of our events. We would love to have you. But even if you don't, it's okay. Get on board, because no matter what you're doing in your life, the wave of the future is now with Amazon. It's now. It's happening right now. I went out holiday shopping out there just to check out what was going on, and nothing was going on, Lisa. The stores were empty. I went in high times, like people, like you'd expect to wait in line forever. No one was there. I talked to the people behind the desk. Have you been busy? Well, not too much. What time you open until? 11 o'clock. What's it like here at 8 o'clock? Not too many people. You know why? Because everybody was buying on Amazon. Before, you wouldn't think about that. Now I talk to people, did you do your shopping? Yeah. Where'd you do it? Oh, I bought everything on Amazon, or I bought everything online. The future is now. And you're unlimited. You learn to sell here in the US, then you have a bunch of other countries you can sell in. I mean, this is really the most exciting thing that has happened for the small, medium, even large entrepreneur. But this is going to fuel business growth. You get the money from Amazon. Yes, you reinvest some of that money to keep your store going, but you can fuel the growth in your business, in your primary business. People don't understand that. If you're out there and you're selling at fairs, you should be selling on Amazon too. You'll see, you're not only will your Amazon sales make money, but it'll drive more sales to your physical place. You know, it is the future. The future is now. And I'll tell you right now, if I had a brick and mortar store, you can bet that I would have my stuff, everything, up on Amazon, because that's where people are shopping. So you go where they're shopping and you offer them whatever it is. And the other thing is, people may be saying, well, why are they telling people to sell on Amazon? Well, aren't they afraid of competition? No, no. The more people and the more stuff that's being sold on Amazon, the better. That's what I think, Lisa. What about you?
I couldn't agree with you more. It isn't about competition because, you know, it's all energy, so it's all flowing. So if everyone's on Amazon right now, it's the place to go. And they are dumping, they're using the cloud. They're really on the cutting edge and innovation of technology. The other facts are, so of those 50% of people that were buying on Amazon, 50% of all online sales were done from a mobile device. So my son is sitting, traveling somewhere, deciding what he's going to buy me for Christmas, and he can have it shipped directly to me. He sells on Prime, so he doesn't get charged shipping fees. And boom, in a push of a button on his phone, he has picked me out the perfect gift, and it's headed to my home, and he's headed off to the travels of his life. So that's one of the things that's really up and coming into the future, that not only are people shopping online, but they're shopping on their mobile devices. So you can try to figure out, and God, websites are still a challenge for me. I'm still trying to figure those buggers out. So I don't have to create my own website for my product, although advisable for companies that have brick and mortar. But if I can ship it to Amazon, and Amazon is mobile friendly, and again, they spend billions of dollars of making sure that your experience is one click away from getting what you want, then I don't have to spend. Little Lisa, little business is not where I want to spend my money. Because I also, so for my life, what I want is, I want a very mobile life. I want to be able to travel the world and teach people success principles and teach them how to change their life, not just by selling on Amazon, but really how to transform themselves. Because a lot of us, you know, you were talking earlier about how our own thoughts limit us from really seeing the potential in things. Well, sometimes not only do we do that in business, but we do it in life. So I want to dedicate more time to that, but I need the cash flow in order to drive that time so that I can have to spend talking to people about that. So I marry that with my love of Amazon, and here I am. And I use those same principles to drive this business that's just exciting and on the cutting edge. And it gives me mobility. Like you said, I can do it in Mexico. I can do it in Canada. I can sell my products, venture them out everywhere. And then I can even start as a business owner using those as expenses, business expenses, when I travel to do business. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways. Like you said, it's a big circle that really involves every aspect of building a business, building a brand, and being successful at it, connecting it with the wave of the future without having to out of pocket every expense yourself. You send it to Amazon, and yes, Amazon takes their fees, and you have some really great strategies about how to minimize those costs and really be on top of that. And I do too. When we show people how to select items, Amazon even has a free tool that will show you what percentage they'll take out, including, depending on how you have your profile set up, what potential shipping costs are for you. So you can really start to strategize and say, I get really excited. I go out and I say, okay, I love this thing. I want to sell this thing. And then I look on there and it's like, because it's a you know, really popular thing, they're going to take out a really big chunk. And so, okay, maybe I don't want to sell exactly that item, but guess what? I can go and I can find a very similar item and brand it with my own name. And then all of a sudden I can use and drive that force of everyone loving this product, but they'll find mine at maybe a little less of a cost or even a similar cost. But now Amazon isn't taking out so many fees because it's my product and my brand, and it's not as popular as the other one. But I know how to use my marketing and my words and my tools and my videos to get people paying attention to my product. So all of a sudden I'm making a lot of money on a similar item that's my own item that's using the force of Amazon already out there and already available.
All right, Lisa. Well, I'll tell you, you sold me. I'm really excited to be at this event with you. I'm really excited to see people learn and grow and really see the excitement and feel the excitement in the room when the penny drops and everybody gets it, they're going to be like, oh, yes. So, and that shopping trip is going to be wonderful. And I have ways to take photographs. Lisa, when you see it, it's going to blow you right out of the water. You are going to be so excited on how to take these pictures. It's fabulous. So we're going to be doing all that and more at our events. So I'm going to put a link in the bottom here that you can go and get more information about the events, and also, also we're giving out some free information. We have a newsletter there. We're going to be giving articles and doing things, and there's a video from Andrew Chernlin, who sells $10 million a year on Amazon, up from 6 last year. And he's going to talk about his personal experience. You can tap into that. And then you can figure out, after you get this information, if this would be the right thing for you. If you want to talk to us, give us a call. And we can talk to you about our personal experience. And maybe you can brainstorm a few ideas with us. But we're more than willing to help you make a decision that's right for you. And, maybe Amazon isn't the right decision. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be, but, and that's fine too. But at least you would have the information to make the right decision for you, and get in. And on Amazon, get in now. Get your piece of the action, because it's a multi. I mean, this year, 2016, they should surpass $100 billion in sales. I mean, come on. That's amazing. Right here in Shakopee, they just opened up a 2,000 person distribution center, like 40 minutes from my house in St. Paul. So it's all over. I mean, anymore, they have distribution centers all over so they can get products out there quickly, which is very good when you're a salesperson on Amazon. You just ship them the product and then they distribute it in 2 days. Isn't that beautiful? It's wonderful. Now they're talking about drones. I don't know. But anyway, Lisa, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Any final thoughts?
Yes, definitely. If you want to find out more information, we have a Facebook page where you can go on, and we're posting articles and different things. So if you can send a link to it, I know I'll link it out both on my Facebook and my Google information, so it'll be available. But again, if you even just want to find out more, I know this sounds way too good, but it is. Proven methods. The Mr. Chernlin, that video, by the way, is amazing, and it is basic business principles. That basic business principles. I am married to a very conservative man, and he is all in business wise. I mean, it's taken him time to grow his wealth in business. So he wanted to make sure that this was true a bona fide business. And it is a business. And so it's an exciting, so find out more information. It doesn't hurt to find out. And if it's not a right time for you, no problem. Find out, watch videos on Amazon. But like Lauri said earlier, the really important thing is that when you do decide that it's time for you, whether it's with us or with someone else, make sure you have current information or you're going to trip yourself up. So those are my final thoughts. Thank you, Lauri. As always, I am so excited for our upcoming workshops. They are going to be a hoot. And I can't wait to see more of your photographing ideas. I know I need help there.
No, no, no. You're doing a great job, but this is going to make it so much easier. It's just so easy. So anyway, thank you so much, Lisa. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in March. This is wonderful. And everybody, I cannot wait to share this exciting and dynamic information, this revenue stream that's going to blow the doors off of everything you've ever done. So you have a good one, Lisa. Thanks so much.
All right, sweetheart. You too. Bye.
Bye now.